Good evening, everyone. Believe it or not, the 6 o'clock was completely packed in here, so believe me, there are a lot more freshmen than are evident in here, but we are thrilled that you are here this evening, and we have a presentation to help you kind of with the basics about what it means to be a ninth grader and what it means how as parents you can support our process here in our system. So again, thank you, we welcome you. You are students, the class of 2028. Isn't that crazy, the class of 2028? All right, if you are, as a family, a parent or guardian, a brand new freshman parent, first time in the high school, would you please stand? All right. If this is your last kiddo going into high school, would you please stand? Those parents are evident that you can do this. It's going to be okay. It will be okay. So I am Peg Shoemaker, and this is my 5th year at Middleton High School. And it is an amazing place for kids to learn and learn in lots of different ways, whether that's through activities, or academics, or social emotional. We really look at the whole child when we plan out our freshman experience. I have a team here that is also ready to serve our students, so I'm going to introduce them, and they can give a wave. Over here we have Miss Classy, who's an associate principal in the Phoenix Support Center. Miss Merrick, associate principal in student services. Miss Gertner, associate principal at Middleton High School, and also the principal at Clark Street. So if you are on the fence about Clark Street, feel free to reach out to me and I can connect you. Also, Mr. Reinhardt is an associate principal at Ontario's, and Mr. Rosing, associate principal in Capella. We also have Miss Gowan, who is our counseling and our student services instructional leader, and she's here with us. And then also, if you have a student that has maybe some unique needs, has like an IEP or a 504, we have Nikki Morehouse here and Becky Poles that could answer questions. And finally, we have our athletic director, Mr. Jamie Sims, back here. So, you're going to hear from many of them this evening, and what I want to say is, if you want to take an opportunity to take a picture of this form, feel free. You can ask a question that we might not have covered in our presentation, and you can feel free to ask that question and we will get back to you. So we'll check that tomorrow morning. All right, part of the reason that we can't wait to meet our new freshmen is they are part of an amazing generation called Gen Z. And Gen Z are known for some incredible traits that we love to explore here at the high school. Number one, a real comfort with expressing their voice and their opinion, and kind of wanting a stake in decisions that are made. This is a good thing. This is a life skill that we try to find ways and opportunities for students to be able to have influence and impact within their school experience. They're also known to be the most racially diverse, which of course adds a beautiful element. They are known to be entrepreneurial. The number of high school seniors and high school students that already have a business started is really quite phenomenal. And we want our students to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Also, a couple of big things. this generation has mental health on their mind at the forefront. They have seen the impact of school shootings, the impact of the pandemic, sometimes feel less hopeful about the political divide, definitely less hopeful about climate. And so these are these amazing passions that our students bring to the table as they're learning to become an adult. So a lot of our clubs are really based around sort of a justice mindset. Kids will come and they'll say, hey, I have this idea about how we can improve the school by doing this, and how we can make a difference by doing this. And so again, it's an amazing generation. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Barrick, and she's going to take us into what we mean by these different support centers.
One of the things that you need to remember when we talk about Middleton High School is that we are the largest high school in the state of Wisconsin. So we work really hard at making sure the school is broken down to make it feel smaller for your student. We do that in the first big way through 3 main divisions. Each student is assigned to a support center, and they're named after constellations that you can see all across the world. And they are Antares, Capella, and Phoenix. Each center has their own office area, and it has 3 counselors, a psych, and a social worker. They also pair with nurses. We have 2 full-time nurses and a health assistant. And they kind of wrap around your student from the very beginning and kind of help move them throughout their 4 years here at Middleton High School. They are skilled at making sure that your students feel connected, and they are the way we divide the students. If you have an older brother or sister, it's highly likely that you'll end up in that same center, so that family is working with that same team. That's not always true, but most of the time it's true. We have a couple ways that we also build in some system-wide supports for the freshmen. The first one is a meeting like this. Tonight in our course fair, this is the first time we've done the course fair. So you can explore the building, you can go upstairs, nothing's closed off, you can kind of start to feel more comfortable in this large building. We'll have a similar meeting like this in August, where you'll come in again. The kids will most likely be close to getting their schedule, they'll be able to walk around, we'll be able to see more. And then the first day of school is freshmen only. So when you arrive here, there's not going to be any of those pesky 10th, 11th, and 12th graders in your way. It's just going to be a whole bunch of freshmen trying to figure out where they're going, getting orientated to the building, meeting all of their teachers, and meeting their advisory that we'll talk about in a little bit. That really provides a place where freshmen can kind of feel vulnerable because everyone is. No one knows where they're going. It's all new for everyone. So that first day is really important. We also have student services advisory visits, so counselors and psychs and social workers will come in and meet their advisory students, so you can kind of put a face with a name. And then one of our goals is that every freshman meets with their counselor before December 1st. So in that first couple months of school, we start around October and work through all of them to the 1st of December, is that one-on-one conversation with the counselor. It's like, how's it going? And what do you think you want to do now that you've been here a couple months? What's going well? What class do you really like? Where are you struggling? And we start to kind of build that 4-year plan at that first meeting. We'll meet multiple times throughout their career here, but it's where that starts. If you want to know more about our student services or get contact information or anything else, we are on the website and we have a whole section dedicated just to student services. And I'm going to kind of preview a little bit of what's coming next for you. But one thing you're going to hear a lot about is credits and transcripts that might be actually in the air tonight. When you leave Middleton, you leave with a very nice diploma and a nice cupboard, very pretty, and you take it home, but it can stay in your desk in your room. And you leave with something called a transcript. And that transcript is the piece of paper we send to employers or the military or college. And that's where you kind of tell the story of what you did at Middleton High School. So as you start to build that as a freshman, think about what you want it to look like. Is it going to look diverse, so you can have a lot of interest, or you're going to really dig into one area and kind of explore all their options? And most importantly, is it going to be about you? So as you're signing up for classes, and freshmen don't have a lot of choices for a reason, but is it going to reflect you? It's really important that you choose classes that you're interested in and not all your friends are taking. And sometimes that's a hard choice as a freshman. But really look at all the courses and choose the classes that you're interested in. That will be very important as you build that transcript. We're going to talk about the block schedule, AB rotation, how lunch works, all school resource and advisory. We're going to start with the bell schedule with Ms. Clancy.
You all are fun, that's good. Hi, I'm Carmen Classy, the associate principal who works with the Phoenix Support Center, and I get to talk to you a little bit more in depth about what a high school schedule looks like. So we have an alternating A-B block schedule. Every other day is an A and a B. The A-B day will be posted in our offices and our student support centers so students can see that as they walk through the building. It's also on their schedule, lots of places to find that. So on an A day, we have blocks 1 through 4 and advisory, and then on a B day, it's blocks 5, 6, 7, and something we call ASR, which we'll get to in a minute. So classes are 87 minutes long. You have an 8-minute passing period, which is enough time to get from one place to the other. Even if you're on one end of the building and have to go to the other. It's very doable. You do have to stay on task, but you can do it. We're really flexible in the first few weeks of school, so that typically is a worry of students, but you don't have to worry about it. This is a typical individual 9th grade schedule. Courses listed here are typically what incoming 9th graders take in terms of biology, English 9, Land, People, Power, Foundations of Movement, and Algebra 1. And then there's a couple of spots for electives as well. So ASR, All School Resource, is something that we have on the end of every B day. And it's 2 45-minute blocks of time where students can sign up to see whatever teacher they want to in the building. It's really a great support because students can reach out and get the help they need. With the 2 different 45-minute periods, students can choose to see someone in math for the first one and English in the second one, for example. We use a program called FlexiSketch where students can sign up and choose the stuff they want to. And it's really kind of a hidden gem in our schedule, a great support to students who are using it wisely. As the year goes on, typically, and the 9th grade year and 10th grade and 11th grade, your student might say something to you like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. It's not required. False. It is required. Once they get to be seniors, they have a little bit more flexibility, but it is a required and very supportive piece of our schedule that they should make use of. All right, now I'm going to let Mr. Reinhardt talk about advisory.
All right, our advisory program at MHS is a 4-year program where our incoming freshmen will be assigned an advisory where they will have between 15 and 18 students and 1 teacher advisor who they'll spend a significant amount of time with for their 4 years here. So as Ms. Classy said, in the schedule, advisory is opposite of lunch. So incoming freshmen have lunch first, so after lunch they would travel to their classroom for advisory. In that advisory, we split up the days of the week with different themes. So on Monday, we do some mindfulness. We can do some goal setting, preparing for the week, just kind of understanding who they are as students and getting themselves ready for what they need to take care of. Tuesdays we call Tuesday Talks. Tuesday Talks could be small group talks within an advisory about a topic that's coming up in their lives or something that they're preparing for at school. Or we may invite the entire freshman class down here to the PAC for common messaging from any number of our staff here at MHS, including deans, administration, maybe counselors, athletics, you name it. On Wednesdays, we do academic and career planning. So we kind of take a look at what's coming up in the student's future and how they might want to start planning for that, and take a look at that at different aspects as they go from 9th to 10th grade, 10th to 11th, and then the senior year. The main focus of advisory, like Ms. Merrick was talking about before, is to take a really large school and create small atmospheres within that school. So advisory meets every day and is required like ASR. And it's a chance for students to build really meaningful relationships with that small group of students, as well as have kind of a go-to teacher when they don't know who else to ask for advice or for an answer that they may not know who to go to. So it's a really unique opportunity to create a small community within a large setting. Another awesome thing about our advisory program is something that is called Link Crew. And we have a number of Link Crew leaders with us tonight, so if you guys could stand up and just give a wave. We'll have to bring the energy and cheer for them. Awesome. Our Link Crew program is a program where we have our Link leaders who are juniors and seniors who apply and are kind of given a spot as a Link leader, and they pair with a freshman advisory. So 2 Link leaders per freshman advisory, and really the Link leader's role is to create connections with those freshmen and kind of guide them through their freshman year. Provide them with the ins and outs of what it means to be a freshman, how to navigate all the newness of what it is to be a Cardinal here at MHS, and provide just a different voice than the teacher voice to kind of confide in, relate to, and have fun with. The Link Crew program is really built on the idea that students help other students succeed. We as adults can be in front of students and give them the best advice in the world, but it might not be as meaningful as it is when it comes from a peer that's close to them. So that's the beauty of our Link Crew program. So we have a few Link leaders that are going to share some information just based on a couple of questions. So if you guys would come up, we can go ahead and get started with that. Are you guys more nervous now or in front of the large group that was the first session? There you go. Your practice, right? All right, here we go. We're going to have them introduce themselves, share what grade they're in, and then I'll share the questions again, just in case you forgot from the first time.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a junior. I'm Judy, I'm a junior.
I'm Lafiq, I'm a junior.
I'm Megan, I'm also a junior.
I'm Rebecca, junior.
Yeah.
All right, the first question, just a little bit of advice. What did you find helpful when you were transitioning into MHS as freshmen?
Something I found helpful was the clubs and organizations we have. Guys, the clubs and sports and everything here is so freaking awesome, okay? You gotta join at least one. Like, for example, I was in a fall sport, I'm on the swim team, and meeting a bunch of new people. It started before school had started, so meeting all these new people. You know, I kind of had people to talk to going into high school, and people to say hi to in the hallways. And also joining clubs and sports, you know, during the school year is also really fun. It's a good way to make new friends. So I think that really helped me a lot.
So towards the beginning of the year, we have a bunch of activities that kind of help us get to know the school better. So for example, we have a club fair where all of the club leaders get up in the gym and they have little poster boards explaining what their club is. There's a bunch of activities during homecoming, and I think all of those activities just help you get to know the school better and get to know your classmates better. So that was really helpful for transitioning for me.
For me, I was completely new here when I came, because in 8th grade I was in the Madison School District, so freshman year here was the first Middleton year for me. And I think the advisory part of every day is really important, because you have a set group of 20 people that you're going to be with for the next 4 years, and you should start off with them, and then you can always be there for them, and they'll be there for you if you ever need anything. And I'm really grateful to have them, because even now, I go golfing with them, I go watch movies with them. So just having that first group of people is really awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go off of what Sarah said. I think that joining sports and clubs and other activities is a really helpful way to transition into high school. I had never played volleyball in my life really, and I joined as a freshman, had no idea what I was doing. They gave me a sheet that was what position do you want to be? I had no idea what the words were. It was another language. It was a new experience, trying something I had never done, and just meeting new people. And even though I wasn't the best at volleyball, I still met a ton of new friends, and we have a huge school, so just seeing a few people every day in the hallway that you can recognize is really helpful. I think I still see 100 new people every day that I've never met, that are in my classes since kindergarten. But yeah, definitely join sports and be open-minded even if you've never tried it before.
I have to agree with Sarah and Megan that joining clubs and organizations is one of the best things that you can do. Personally, I'm in theater, which it seems maybe more like those two should be in theater instead of me. But so I guess just find your place, find where you think that you belong. For me, it's theater and band. You know, sounds a little lame, but when you actually get into it, it's really nice, and that's where a lot of my closest friends are. Also, a big thing is just to not be afraid to make new friends and be open to new things, because as you climb through and go through high school, you're going to have, if you let it, you're going to have lots of different friends from different classes and different grades and different things like that. I know that I've had a lot of different friends who I may not talk to now, but when they were in my class, it was a lot more interesting to have those friends. But yeah, so be open to doing new things, like you said, and finding new friends.
Awesome. One more question for the group. Two-part question, so feel free to answer both this time. I know I probably cut you off last time, but we'll give you the full time this time. What made you want to become a link leader, and what's your favorite part about being a link leader?
What made me want to become a link crew leader, same thing, I don't know why I'm doing that, is my freshman year, I had amazing link crew leaders. It was like having older friends at school who I could say hi to in the hallway and ask anything. Maybe stuff that like you can't ask a teacher because they're not going to relate to you, because they're cramping your style, I don't know. And you can just ask your link crew leaders, and I kind of want to be the same way for my freshmen. You know, I want my freshmen to love me as much as I love my link crew leaders. And also, my favorite part about being a link crew leader is my awesome advisory. They're, might I say, the best group of freshmen I've ever met in my life. And before I have the microphone off, Mr. Shower, the teacher here told me to say this, join forensics. It's the best club in the world. Okay, that's all.
Okay, so I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. So when I was a freshman, he was a junior, and he helped me a lot with getting to know what classes I should take, what clubs I should join from the perspective of a student rather than a teacher. So I think having that older student support rather than just teachers and adults gives you a different perspective, probably the perspective that you're looking for more. And so that really helped me out, and I know that a lot of people don't have that older sibling that they can go to, and so I wanted to kind of be that resource for the freshmen to go to. Oh my goodness, my favorite part of Link Crew, I forgot to do this last time too. It's so fun, we get to throw parties. I get to drive to Costco and pick up Costco pizza and share it with all my freshmen, and we bring snacks and cupcakes, and it's so fun.
Yeah. My favorite part of link crew, I'd say, is just like inspiring other kids. I know it sounds corny, but like it's just like fun helping other people and just like having them like being a guide for them. Because I remember like being an upperclassman, you know, you have like a million times more like high school wisdom, you know, than like underclassmen. So just having like another, like having like one of us helping a freshman, I think is really important. Because you know, we just like teach them like the culture, like the ropes, and just like how really like maximize high school, because you only get these 4 years once in life.
Yeah, so I joined Link Crew because I'm a very outgoing person and I love meeting new people and just having new experiences, and I always wanted to be a Link Crew leader since I was a freshman. My Link Crew leaders were super fun, and we were actually in the field house my freshman year, so we were always playing games. Whether it was like trick shots from like the opposite end of the gym that were probably 50 feet off. But we kept trying. But yeah, that was such a fun experience, and we were always playing games, and I really found it useful to have an upperclassman to look up to and ask about classes and whatnot. And my favorite part about being a Link Crew leader is just the people. I love meeting new people and giving advice and being silly and having a good time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all those things that other people said. And then also a really important part for me is that, so they said that they try to make it, you know, into smaller groups. It's a really large school, it's scary. And for a lot of people that works great, but for certain kids, even in those smaller groups, it's really hard to speak like your mind and express yourself. And I think that just kind of being a Link Crew leader gives me a way to give those kids a voice and to kind of uplift them and talk to them, because maybe they are not going to put themselves out there and go talk to the other people in their advisory, but I will go and talk to them. And you know, maybe at first they're a little scared or they don't want to, but I just think that definitely like helping the kids who need more help getting out there is definitely a really important part. And I mean, an added bonus is leadership, so that's good, but then that's not why I chose to do it. But I like to help people who, need a bit more help.
All right, one more time. Thank you for being here. Thanks for giving up your night. Let's give it up for our leaders one more time. Yeah, give them a bow. All right, as many of our link leaders have mentioned, we have an amazing clubs and athletics program here at MHS. And I get to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Jamie Sims, our athletic director. He would typically be joined by Mr. Crandall, but he is not able to be with us tonight. But here is Mr. Sims.
Thank you and good evening. Like I said earlier, no better promoters than your peers. Thank you very much for making this easy for me. We offer over 30 athletic programs and over 70 clubs and activities here at Middleton High School, and we're proud of them all because between those two, we feel like we're confident in being able to make the statement that we have a place where you can connect and belong between our athletics, our activities, and organizations. So, and they range from on the athletic side, from cheer and dance to ski and snowboarding, to the club and organization side, to anime club, all the way down to yoga club. You name it, we offer it. If it's something you have an interest or passion in, we're probably doing it. And if we are not, we're open to applications for being able to expand on what we currently have as well. So thank you for being here. We have a session coming up in May the 23rd at 6 o'clock back in the same room where we will go into more detail about what it takes to get registered and get ready if you are interested in anything for the upcoming year. But just some of the key things that you can find on our site would have to do with registration. Our registration platform is all online as of this year, so everything you would do to sign up for a club or a sport, you'll be able to do through our website. And one of the biggies will be to know, if you're wondering now about things like physicals for the upcoming year, if you have had a physical on or after April the 1st, 2023, that is great, and that's what you would need. If you have not had a physical on or before that date or after that date, you would need to get a physical. And you can find all of our forms located on our site that's connected to the MHS high school page. And yeah, that's all I have for clubs and activities. Again, if you are looking for more information, please be sure to come back on May the 23rd. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Ray Rosen.
All right, thanks everybody. I am excited to talk to you about your homework assignments. You should know that on January 4th, we had our counseling team go out to Glacier Creek and Cromery Middle Schools and talk through and introduce the scheduling process. In the meantime, hopefully you have been thinking about what courses you want to be taking your freshman year. Again, as Ms. Merrick said, there's kind of a narrow number of elective choices, so the options aren't overwhelming, but we have the assignment to get that turned in this Friday, January 12th at 3 p.m. That is rain or snow, so whether or not we are in school, that is our deadline. So that is happening again on the Infinite Campus portal. There's a resource here. Feel free to take a snapshot of this QR code and jump onto our website. There's some resources that are really helpful in this whole scheduling process. First, we have a frequently asked questions document that will help walk you through anything that might be coming up for you in terms of things you want to know more about, things that you're confused about, just kind of those frequent flyer options that we might want to know more about. Secondly, we also have the schedule, or the course offering book, I should say. So anything that we are offering is on that website. You can take a look, dig down, and get some more information there. Who doesn't love a good to-do list? So we have our tasks, again, review that course offering book, work through your worksheet on the website. Secondly, enter your course selections by what day? Friday. There you go, Friday. Okay, love it. Friday at 3 p.m. And if you have any questions, we have a link for you to submit them via the Google form, and they'll be sent to your counselors. So at the bottom here, you can see a screenshot of our course selection worksheet, which should look familiar to you. All right. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Ms. Shoemaker to conclude our time together.
All right, that is our show for this evening. We really are excited to have you as our partners in education, parents, and we're really excited to have your kids. So thank you so much. I hope it's been a good night for you, and feel free to, we're hanging around here, so feel free to come up and we'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much. Have a great night.